Hello, my name is Ian and I am a West Ham United fan. Welcome to FDT-TV. This week, the Mighty Hammers take on Chelsea at home. Can we push on for the top four? Let's get into it, shall we? Right, before we get into the team news, let's get into our previous record against Chelsea. It's not too bad, to be fair. We've seen only 22 draws in all of the games we've played against them. We've won 42 and we've lost 51. So it does sway slightly in their favour. But when you think about Abramovich coming in, the money pumped into their club, that's probably why we see a bit of a downturn in our form against them. Now, last time out, we played them 21st of December. Fat Frank was still in charge. And they did unfortunately beat us 3-0 with 2 goals coming from Tammy Abraham. Fortunately for us, Tuchel's sort of frozen him out the squad, hasn't he? So that's all well and good. Now, on to the pressing bit for West Ham United fans. As we know, Antonio and Rice are still out injured. Aaron Cresswell, out injured. And now, Masuaku is injured once again. I did say this last week and the week before. I was concerned that playing him so much after returning from injury was going to cause a problem. And he's out injured. And also, there is one more missing from the squad. And that is our resident freight train in Craig Dawson. Got 2 yellow cards, got himself sent off against Newcastle, which is a result I'm sure all of us just want to move on from. Thankfully, Liverpool mucked up with the help from Leeds and drew. Chelsea drew to Brighton. So we are 5th in the table still, only on goal difference behind Chelsea, with Liverpool trailing us by 2 points. So this is a big 6-pointer. Now, usually we're having these at the other end of the table, aren't we? We're not used to doing it at the lofty heights of fighting for 4th. But if we can get this result against Chelsea with 5 games to go, it would put us in a fantastic position of hopefully finishing in the Champions League spaces. Now, we have seen a lot of change with the Super League. There was a Super League, now there isn't a Super League. Some teams are calling for action against these clubs. Could we see a point deduction which would help us along our way? Possibly, but I don't know. I really don't. I've not got any answers for you. I do think there needs to be some sort of action. Will a points deduction and a fine be enough to suffice and satisfy fans across the country and the other 14 clubs? Quite possibly, but we will wait and see, because only time will tell. Right. Let's get into our lineup, shall we? We have already got the bench there. I do think we're going to see David Martin on there as well, but I haven't got a picture of him. And if I'm honest, I was being a little bit lazy and couldn't be bothered to get one. So Trot, Mippo on the bench as seemingly is the way forward now. Lanzini and Fredericks always seem to be mainstays of our bench. Fabian Balbuena, again, I did say I think he's probably on the way out in the summer. Not really great quality for us. And one that I would like to see in the first team a bit more, Connor Coventry, young midfielder. I would put him on the bench. We may see Frederick Alves in there as well, the Danish defender. But I don't know. I really don't. I think Darren Randolph is still out injured. So that rules him out from getting a place on the bench. Right, our goalkeeper, Lucas Fabianski, or Flappy Hansky, as he was in the last match. That's sort of prime Arsenal territory, isn't it? How he played against Newcastle. If he had been on his game, there's no way we would have lost that match. Two goals that went in, I think he was to blame for. But he did come out and say, I'm sorry, it wasn't good enough. So we have to move on. Let's get behind him. Let him know that we support him. And hopefully we'll see him return to his best form for the last few games of the season, because God knows we certainly need him to. Right, next, defence. I think we're gonna change a little bit because of obviously the freight train. Craig Dawson is off, not allowed to play. Balbuena isn't the one to be relying on for this game. I think we're going to play 4 at the back and go a little bit more attacking. Diop and Ogbonna are both solid. Diop does make a few more mistakes, but he's quick, he's good in the air, and that's what we need against Chelsea, with Ogbonna being the boss of the airspace above the London Stadium this weekend. But the pace is lacking a little bit. Ben Johnson on the left had a really good, had a really good game. He was solid, wasn't he? He cleared one off the line for us. I do think he is a really good defender, and I do think he's probably, for me, one to start ahead of Masuaku, if I'm totally honest. I think defensively he is much better, and I think letting him play will get his attacking game a little bit more on point, and say, giving the game time, letting him improve. Sufau is a warrior, and he is there every game. What a bargain he was. I think he's got to be down as one of the signings of the season because he's been absolutely brilliant. Now in midfield, this is a midfield heavy thing. I think Mark Noble's going to play as that sort of anchor man. Not as much running. We'll sit deep in that midfield, just in front of the defenders. So it's almost a 5 at the back, but with Mark Noble just in front to try and cut those passing lanes. We've got, obviously, Souček, another warrior, a man who runs all day long, mopping up around midfield, making forward runs as well. And Fornals will drop a little bit deeper, which is the creative... as he is the creative sort of linchpin of that midfield for me. He has got the ability to get forward as well. But say his work rate's been phenomenal as well. But say it just shores us up a little bit. That leaves Jared Bowen free reign of the right hand side of the pitch to run up and down as he likes to do. Run at defenders as he likes to do. It leaves Saeed Benrahma the opportunity to do the same on the left hand side of midfield. And hopefully, obviously, Jesse Lingard looked like he was injured, but I can't find anything on the fact that he's going to be out for this game, and hopefully he's not, because he's been phenomenal for us. In the mid, like sort of, not the striker, but sort of that sort of role, false 9, if you will. I do think we'll see those three chopping and changing against Chelsea, trying to drag defenders out of position, getting them confused who's marking and who's where, which will open up the passing lanes for Fornals and Souček to come running into the box. I really am looking forward to this game. I really am. I do think we can grab something out of it, and we need to. We just need to be a little bit more solid defensively. I'm hoping that we will have Mikel Antonio and Declan Rice back fit before the end of the season to help us with this last little push to get into the Champions League. But what do I think? I can't remember what I said on the podcast. Go back to that to have a look to see what my prediction was, because I really can't remember. Let me know in the comment section below what you think the scoreline is going to be and who you think is going to be starting. Until next week, I've been Ian. We'll see you soon. Peace.